is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And it's a beautiful evening here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight it's game number 2. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Cardinals with the win last night. They were for just a brief time a game and a half back of Chicago. Chicago winning earlier this afternoon. So as we speak, the Cardinals 2 games back in the NL Central. Jim Hayes is here. That's the Matt Hungarian Alraboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Cardinals baseball. The Cardinals pitching, they've taken a few hits here with Trevor Rosenthal and Adam Wainwright both on the DL. So what is the state of the Cardinals staff right now?
Well, nobody said it was going to be easy, and we all know that injuries are part of the season. It's a long season, and you can never have enough pitching. But right now, I think the Cardinals turn to Martinez, and he has been very, very good. He's won his last couple starts. He's won 3 out of his last 4, and he's at 500, and we need him to go deep into this ball game. Can he survive the first inning?
Trevor Williams will get the call for the Pittsburgh Pirates. A tsunami on its way to Pittsburgh. First pitch coming up on Fox Sports Midwest. Famous among friends. By Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickups on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. A beautiful night here in Pittsburgh. It's game number 2. Let's take you back to game 1 and one of the longest home runs we've seen hit by a Cardinal this year.
I think StatCast is wrong. StatCast is very wrong on that. What would you have it as? I was joking around, and I was like, man, because I was messing with guys. I'm like, the exit velo was 112, just messing around. And it said 111. I was like, I don't think so on that either. So, and that ball, it disappeared. So I think StatCast lost it.
450, 460.
I was, me and Josh Bell were talking about it. He said he's never seen a ball hit up there either. So he was saying 460. I said about 465, 470.
Is that DexCast?
That was DexCast. DexCast is typically correct. I'm not gonna lie.
I like it. DexCast is what we will officially go with from here on out, Al.
No doubt, no doubt. How about he wouldn't even accept the 111? He had to refine that to 112, but
that was a blast.
It was a blast. And I was even talking to some of the players, and they told me where they thought it landed. And of course, we had the video, and our guys walked it off, and they found that it was in an area that we've never seen a ball hit in this ballpark. Up there on the ramp, right?
Yeah, Tommy Pham is in the lineup again tonight. Trevor Williams, the starter for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Last start was against the Blue Jays on Saturday. He allowed 4 runs, 3 earned across 6 innings. It was a 7-2 loss. And there's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Well, really what you got to think about is the sinker slider. And here's the young man. His last 9 starts, he's pitched very, very well. And matter of fact, in the second half, he has an ERA of 2.95. So Cardinals could have their work cut out for him. As far as home runs, he's only allowed 9 this year.
And only 5 in his last 17 starts. So that has been an improvement as well. And so here's Matt Carpenter. He'll lead it off for the St. Louis Cardinals, followed by the aforementioned Tommy Pham, then Paul DeJong, Dexter Fowler, Yadier Molina, Jed Jerko, Randall Grichuk, Greg Garcia, Carlos Martinez. A late scratch for the Cardinals lineup is Colton Wong. He's out with a sore hip, but he could be available to pinch hit later in this game.
And more precautionary, and let's hope we don't need it.
And the first pitch is taken low by Carpenter, who is 2 for 4 against this righty. On the season, batting .248 with 15 home runs, and he's driven in 57. Two pitches very close and going Carpenter's way.
And that may be a key, because he's going to try and keep the ball at the bottom of the strike zone.
And a 2-0 to Matt Carpenter. 2-1. Lefties hitting. Williams at the clip at 279. Very tough on the right-handed batters. 227. The shift on for Carpenter. The 2-1 pitch. Now 2-2.
You can see everything down in the zone. Be a good time when you elevate now, after you've seen 4 consecutive pitches down in the zone. You elevate a pitch to get a hitter to chase. And when I say elevate, you elevate it above the strike zone. Tempting, but usually pop it up or swing through it.
And the 2-2. Fought it off. The Cardinals have won 6 of the 10 meetings between these two clubs. Another game tomorrow here at PNC Park, and then it's off to Williamsport, the site of the Little League World Series, for a Sunday night game. That'll wrap up the road trip. The 2-2 pitch. And he struck him out.
It looked like that ball was outside, but oh boy.
Yep. Carpenter just,
oh, yeah.
You got to be kidding me. Well, it could be one of those nights, you never know. Tommy Pham went ahead and joined the 15 home run club yesterday, and he did it with authority.
And if you think back in that ball game, we talked about Tommy Pham. He got off to a horrible start. He struck out the first 2 times, but we said, here's a guy that doesn't give up. He just fights his way through it and end up with a walk, then a base hit, and then the home run.
Well, myself and the Cat and Tommy Pham took a cab over to the ballpark today, and he was telling us that
He hit one ball in Memphis out of the stadium, completely out. He said, that's the best ball I ever hit, but this one was right there with it. I'm not saying it's better, but Dan, it was pretty good. I said, thank you, Tommy. I think he is a breath of fresh air, and just in the fact that you know, when he answers the questions, they're so direct and honest to Jim Hayes. That's where the ball landed, and there was a family that was leaving the ballpark. There is no way they thought they were getting a souvenir, and the guy had a kid in his hand and said, "Yeah, there's the home run." He said even in BP he hasn't hit one that high and has not seen anyone hit one to that level of the walking area of the ballpark.
Of course, during game, you know, you get a little better velocity and helps carry the ball that much further, but it was a blast.
The 2-2. Another look at the home run hit by Tommy Pham. It was reviewed just to make sure it was a fair ball, and it was. Look at that family. They're leaving the ballpark, and lo and behold, they get a souvenir. Thank you very much.
What made it so tough was look how dark it was.
Right. 3-2 pitch, and Pham hits one the other way. That's well hit. This ball may go. He's done it again. Back-to-back games. Tommy Pham. This one just clears the wall in right. It still counts. It's his 16th, and it's a 1-0 St. Louis lead.
Monster blast to left, and then you'd have one that goes out the opposite field and over the 21-foot wall, the Clemente wall, to honor the great Hall of Fame Pirate, who would be his birthday today, right?
He'd be 83 today.
Inside out, and just takes that ball and hits it a couple rows deep. I think Matheny's kind of like that, along with Mabry and the rest of his teammates.
I asked Tommy from here on out individually what's something you're trying to accomplish, and he said, I really want to get to 2020. He said, I think I can do that, and you never know, maybe 25-25. Which would be 25 home runs, 25 steals.
Right now he's 16-16.
It's been a breakout year and fun to watch. And here's Paul DeYoung. The Cardinals have won 9 of their last 12 games, and the offense has been magnificent. 8 runs per game.
Talk about the attitude that Tommy Pham, and just not going to settle for mediocrity and keep on striving for excellence. That's where I see Paul DeYoung. You know, he's a young man that has really a mature attitude.
And a swing and a miss.
You know, he's going to go through his growing pains. He's going to strike out a lot, but if you make some mistakes, particularly on fastballs on the inner part of the plate, he'll turn on those. He also will say, I'm very aggressive in the strike zone and out of the strike zone. And that's where a lot of those strikeouts come. Breaking balls away.
2-2. A swing and a miss on a fastball. So the rare home run given up there by Trevor Williams. The Pirates defense, Marte, McCutchen, and Frazier in the outfield. Freese, Mercer, Harrison, and Bell on the infield. Diaz is behind the plate. It's also the 17th straight game that Pham has reached base safely, which extends his career high, tied for the longest active streak in baseball right now. 3rd time he's gone back-to-back in home runs. Did it against Colorado and the Phillies. 0-1 pitch to Fowler, who's been red hot as well. 10 games since coming off the DL. His average is at .452. And in those 10 games, 11 RBIs, 11 runs scored. And a line out to Josh Harrison. Last night, Tommy Pham. And again tonight. This one the opposite way. 1-0 Cardinals on Pham's 16th of the year. the game, and it concerns Cardinals starter Carlos Martinez and the leadoff man for the Pirates, Starling Marte. Great success, Al, against the Cardinal right-hander.
Yeah, 500 average, and that's getting significant with 22 at bats. I mentioned in the open, Carlos needs to survive the first inning. Well, obviously he's going to survive, but what I'm referring to is that ERA in the first inning, 5th worst at 6.75. And he's given up 5 of his home runs. He's allowed 20 home runs on the season, but 5 of those home runs in the first, accounting for 10 of the 18 runs he's allowed in the first inning. Takes the mound with a 1-0 lead. Obviously, he has dominated against right-handed batters all season long. Lefty's not bad either, but what really separates him is with that 10th best ERA in the National League is what he does with runners in scoring position. He really gets tough.
Well, the slider, always a great pitch to talk about with Martinez, especially against right-handed batters. The Hyundai pitch arsenal. And the fastball has been taken high there by Marte, who's hitting .256, couple of home runs, and he's driven in 12. So the question would be, how do you get right in the first inning? What do you do maybe warming up in the bullpen?
Well, remember the 2 starts ago, he kind of got frustrated and said, okay, I'm going to change things. And in the bullpen, he simulated throwing a lot more fastballs that have better fastball command in the bullpen and hopefully take that to mount. It worked. Last time out, it did not. So, it's just kind of a however you feel. But, you don't want to throw too much in the bullpen and leave it all down there. So it's the best thing you can do is just be aggressive in the strike zone, and hopefully you make good quality pitches.
3-1. He has won each of his last 2 starts. That was against the Royals and the Braves. A 3.21 ERA in those 2 games. 5 earned runs in 14 innings.
Has faced the Pirates 1 time this year and pitched very well. There's actually a matchup against Williams. He went 7 innings in that game, allowed 2 runs, 1 earned run. But it was back in the early part of the season when the Cardinal bullpen was struggling, and it was an extra inning loss.
Three and 2. It looked like a little bit of dirt got into Molina's eye on that foul ball. So the umpire giving him a chance to regroup. Here's a 3-2 pitch. And he waved at it, and a strikeout. So Marte strikes out. Good slider. Now it's Josh Harrison, followed by Andrew McCutchen. Switch hitting Josh Bell with 20 homers. David Freese, Adam Frazier, then Diaz, Mercer, and Williams. Well, once he gets through the first inning, he's as good as anybody in baseball. First inning, the opponents hit .289 against him. Second inning on, ERA drops to under 3, and an opponent's average of .216. High fly ball. This game may be tied to right field, and it's gone. Sneaks over the wall, and a home run for Josh Harrison, his 14th of the year.
Here we go. That's the 21st home run he's allowed this year. Another first inning home run allowed. See what set up outside. See these hitters that just take outside pitches and drive it over the wall.
A strike to Andrew McCutchen.
You would think that this was a pretty good matchup for Martinez with all these right-handed batters. He's kept right-handers under a .200 average.
The 0-2 pitch. Our best wishes with Adam Wainwright getting looked at by doctors today in St. Louis. Trevor Rosenthal yesterday. Jim Hayes will visit with the Cardinal general manager coming up live in inning number 2. We'll get an update on those two. St. Louis did make a move today. Wainwright goes on the DL, and Mike Myers has been inserted into the Cardinal pen, the right-hander. 2-2 the count. I'll mention that the Tsunami has faced the Pirates one time this year. 7 starts going back to the middle of 2015. And he's 4-3 in those 7 starts.
A pretty good pitch there.
The 3-2 pitch. Fouled back just below us. That home run for Harrison. Single season career high, number 14. And it's the second time that he's gone back to back in ball games with the home run this year. 3-2 pitch. Slowly hit. Martinez can't get there. DeYoung does. Oh, what a play by Paul DeYoung. The bare hand off the side of the mound, and he makes a terrific play.
Well, not only that, but Carlos Martinez flashing by him as he tried to corral that ball, but it's a do-or-die play, barehanded by DeYoung, and made a terrific play. And you know, McCutchen, he's having a breakout season again, coming back like a former MVP. He's going to hustle all the way out of the box. So a real nice play by Paul DeYoung.
And the Pirates will not challenge, so 2 outs. Outstanding play by DeYoung. Brings in Josh Bell. 20 home runs, and 14 of the 20 have been hit from the left side of the plate. The Cardinals defense: Pham, Fowler, Grichuk in the outfield, Jerko, DeYoung, Garcia, and Carpenter on the infield, and Yadier Molina is behind the plate.
A bird's eye view, you really can't tell, but walked past Josh Bell today down in the underneath, and you know, he is really put together.
Oh yeah. He's dropped a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Gotten himself in good shape.
20 home runs.
Hits it the other way. And the catch is made by Tommy Pham. So the home run by Josh Harrison ties it up. 1 inning in the books. And it's 1-1. Tommy Pham a home run coming up for the Cardinals. Molina, Jerko, Grichuk. Busy week for the Cards GM. Let's check in with Jim Hayes.
John Mozeliak, the president of baseball operations. One of the stories we've been following, Trevor Rosenthal has an elbow issue, went back to St. Louis, got looked at. We understand there is news, but still no clarity as to what the next step is.
Yeah, I think what we really want to do, and based on speaking with Dr. Paletta and his recommendation, would be for him to get a second opinion. Then based on that, we'll collaborate with both doctors and decide what makes the most sense for Trev. And, clearly these types of things, we'd like to have just a quick answer and be able to start moving forward, but this is complicated and we want to be patient.
Without simplifying it too much, the options rest versus a surgical procedure?
Yeah, I think if you're defining the bandwidth, it would be rest and be back pitching at some point versus perhaps surgery as an intervention.
Adam Wainwright also back in St. Louis getting looked at by doctors. We understand that exam could be going on right now, right?
Yeah, I would imagine. He had a later flight out today just due to high ticket demands to get to the Eclipse. So unfortunately, he's just getting there now.
If he's not good to go, at least for the short term, Luke Weaver in the starting rotation?
That's correct. And, based on sort of what we knew going into last night, that was one of the reasons we were proactive on having Luke here.
Yadier Molina gets the double. How about Tommy Pham? We see the home run here. How much have you enjoyed watching him go about it this year?
I think the thing that impresses me most, obviously production matters and how he's been a great lift for this club, but just his ability to interact, and he's much more talkative. I think, for someone that doesn't have a lot of major league experience under his belt, he is showing some early signs of leadership, and I think that's a very good sign for all of us.
Chris Carpenter visiting your team, having him around, what does that bring to the ball club?
Well, I think for all of us that got to experience being around Carp when he played for us, the type of energy and his will to win and what it brings to a club. And you can't replicate that with someone who's just simply joining the team for a few days. But on the other hand, he's happy to share some of the way he thinks about the game with some of our younger players, and that's invaluable.
Having the edge around, something we see from Lance Lynn. Last thing before we let you go, Kevin Segrist on the mend. How close is he to return?
Well, yesterday he threw an up and down bullpen. Overall, I think he felt pretty good. We'll repeat again on Sunday and just see how he feels.
For the best. All right, John, thank you for the time.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, Danny.
All right, Mo and Jimmy, thank you. Here's Randall Grichuk with the runner at second base. The double by Molina, ground out by Jerko. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Well, you just hope for the best for Trevor and Adam Wainwright. It's a long season.
Yeah, and they're with the medical staff that is excellent. Dr. Paletta and the other team doctors do an excellent job. And Dr. Paletta knows about Adam's elbow better than anybody. He's had a couple looks at it truly inside.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Randall Grichuk. Had a triple last night. Well, Williams opposed Carlos Martinez earlier this year. Took a no decision. That was a walk-off win for the Pirates. Went 5 2/3. Gave up 1 run. He's 1-0 against the Cardinals in 4 career appearances against St. Louis.
He's a better pitcher right now. I mean, he's really learned a lot the last, particularly the last 9 starts he's had. He's really kind of figured out what works here at this level, and you've got to keep the ball down.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. The check swing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pat Hoiberg is the home plate umpire. Tony Randazzo at first base. Jerry Davis, crew chief, at second. And Rob Drake is down at third. A 2-2 inside. Mentioned that earlier today the Cubs day game at Wrigley defeated Toronto 7-4. Jake Arrieta gave up 6 hits, 1 run, and 6 1/3. Javier Baez 20th home run of the year. The Brewers at Colorado coming up later tonight. We'll keep an eye on that contest. 3-2 pitch. And he draws the walk. Boy, that's good to see. Doesn't chase that particular pitch. And, for a guy that doesn't draw a lot of walks, nice work there by Grichuk.
And Dan, that's the game plan. You know, if you're an opposing pitcher, you're going to try to attack him, and then when you get 2 strikes, you're going to throw him the off-speed pitch. Slider's a great pitch off the plate because his pitch recognition has been his weakness and chasing those balls out. So you're absolutely right, showing that discipline to lay off a breaking ball away.
So we mentioned that Colt Wong out with his sore hip, so it's Greg Garcia at second base tonight. And he takes a ball. Well, you mentioned it. The key has to be down in the zone, and he's not getting that call.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you're trained to throw the ball down, and you assume that, when you're hitting corners and low part of the strike zone, you get rewarded.
Here's a 1-0.
Last thing you want to do is start elevating the ball, and that's when you get hit hard. So it's frustrating. The only thing that you can say is if I do it consistently enough, if I keep on throwing the ball right down there, hopefully I'll lull the umpire into calling it more frequent.
Yeah, he's starting to get a little frustrated.
A little frustrated,
here.
Which we've seen. Not the only pitcher we've seen recently, is it?
No.
And on both sides.
2-1. Inning started with a double by Molina to right. Jerko grounded out. Walked by Grichuk. First and second. 1 out.
Garcia can be tough in that 8-hole because he's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. Has that special knack of getting on base whether it's hit by a pitch or walk.
The 2-1. 3-1, and the pitcher Martinez at the on-deck circle.
And Martinez is an offensive weapon. Not quite, Adam Wainwright like, but he's second in RBIs to Wainwright with 9.
And the 3-1. Garcia drives it into the gap in left center. Marte cuts it off. Grichuk on his way to third. Molina scores, and Greg Garcia puts the Cardinals back on top. It's now 2-1.
That's what we talk about. Greg Garcia works that count, gets it into his favor, and then he has that ability to hit the ball where it's pitched. Nice line drive out there, ball away from him. He takes it out to left center, driving in. The run. So breaking ball coming in on him, and it's up a little bit, and he does a nice piece of hitting. Also, if you have a chance to watch him, he's leaving and thinking too, but Marte with a strong throw got the ball back in quickly, and he was well around first base, retreated back.
Here's Carlos Martinez. Martinez does have a base hit against Williams. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Drops down a bunt, but it's a foul ball.
Actually, both these pitchers have a hit against each other. Now, it's not uncommon for Martinez to swing the bat and do the job, but it was Williams snapped an 0 for 22 when he got his first hit, a single off of Martinez in that game.
No balls and a strike with 1 out and runners at first and third. Showing bunt again and pushed it foul. Carlos with 4 sacrifices on the year. No balls and 2 strikes.
He's got 9 RBIs, 8 for 43. Really hasn't gotten the bat in fair territory in these bunting situations. Had the bat back behind home plate.
And the 0-2 pitch to Martinez.
They swing away.
He is, and he struck him out. Third strikeout for Trevor Williams. 2 outs and back to the top of the lineup. Go big when the Cardinals go big. Coffee fountain, frozen drinks, any size drink. It's 50 cents the next day at On the Run. When the Redbird scores 6, keep the celebration going. Stop by on the run tomorrow for a thirst-quenching win. You earned it.
I don't know about you, Dan, but in that situation there, I'd just have Martinez swing away.
Yeah.
You were trying to put both runners in scoring position for Carpenter, who's tied with Jerko for the team lead in RBIs.
He struck out first time up. And he looks at a ball. And it was a pitch that was probably a half foot outside that he struck out on.
Right. One of the better batting eyes in the league.
You know, we mentioned that the Rockies are playing host tonight to Milwaukee, and that's a key game for the Cardinals either way when you talk about the wild card or the Central Division. Carpenter with a drive into deep right center. Frazier back at the wall, and it's gone. Matt Carpenter, long home run. 3-run shot, and the second home run hit by the Cardinals tonight.
I'd say he was tied with Jerko for RBI leadership, or he just passed him.
No longer.
16th home run, 60 RBIs now for the leadoff hitter for the Cardinals. Nice to see the Cardinals come back and regain the lead. Talked about Williams that only allowed 9 home runs. And this being his 19th start. So home runs were something we weren't expecting, but the Cardinals have broke out with them.
Tommy Pham with an opposite field home run, his first time up since June 20th. 335 average, 9 home runs. He's driven in 32. It's the 7th best in baseball in that span in terms of average. Second in hits, and he adds to it tonight with that opposite field homer.
That was a nice observation by John Mozeliak about Tommy Pham and showing leadership qualities, because as you said, he's been vocal and he's been very honest about not only himself but the team.
Takes a pitch a little bit low. 5-1 Cardinals here in the top of the second. The 2-2 hit out of play.
Thing you're wondering, where does all these runs come from?
It's fun to watch. 90th career home run by Carpenter. His 100th hit of the season. 5 straight years with 100 or more hits for Carpenter. Pitch taken inside, and Clint Hurdles is probably saying the same thing. Why are all these home runs getting hit? Off of Williams, a guy that keeps the ball in the ballpark. 3-2 pitch. Pham hits it to Harrison, and he's 1 for 2 on the night. Big inning for St. Louis. They pick up 4, highlighted by the home run from that man. It's 5-1. Games on TV. You can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Midwest and Cardinals baseball with you wherever you go. The batter will be David Freese. Then Adam Frazier and Diaz. Cardinals a couple of home runs tonight. Tommy Pham's solo shot. Matt Carpenter 3-run homer. That's well hit. Deep right. Rich hit back at the wall, and it's gone. The second solo home run hit by the Pirates. The first one, Harrison. And this one, an opposite field shot by David Freese, his 9th of the year.
9th of the year, his second against St. Louis. And remember, we were talking about, particularly Williams was, missing at the bottom of the strike zone. And there you see, in the middle of the plate, Carlos knew it as soon as the contact was made.
Deep right.
But the worst thing you could do is start elevating the ball if you're not getting pitches called at the bottom of the strike zone. It's going to be one of these games, isn't it?
Ball is jumping out tonight.
But there's no doubt guys are bigger, stronger. They've taken away more and more foul territory. It seems like ballparks are smaller. The ball is hard as a rock. It's so tough to pitch today.
One of the things that's dropped off for Martinez from a year ago, his ground ball percentage. He's a guy that gets a lot of double plays. His ground ball percentage a year ago around 58%. There it is. It finds a hole. And this year around 52. Frazier the base hit. The first two have reached.
Carlos, as we said, documented struggles in the first inning, but after that he really dominates hitters, and particularly the right-handed hitters. Cardinals had 4 double plays last night. See if they can't get their first tonight.
Well, Diaz has hit safely in 14 of 17 starts. Mentioned last night, Cervelli is injured. So you may see a lot of Diaz and Stewart here the next 10 to 14 days. Well, we talked about it. Cardinals will be in Williamsport on Sunday. And really a celebration of the game. The young players and trying to get Major League Baseball to get younger with viewership and participation. And I think it's wonderful what Major League Baseball is doing. It's a great thing. If you want to appeal to those kids, take it right to them.
I don't know about you, but I almost thought about, okay, instead of going home, I want to go see it.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, because it's going to be such a unique opportunity playing in a A-League ballpark. But baseball's baseball. I guess it holds about 2,300, and they expect really to be the Little League participants and their families will pretty much, fill that stadium. And then they're involved, the players are going to be involved in a lot of activities all day centering around the Little League World Series.
There's your ground ball, slowly hit. Tough play for Jerko. Off balance throw in the stretch by Carpenter.
Boy, he made that look easy, but how good is your concentration when that ball looks like it's going to hit the third base bag, and then you have to throw on the run. You're about 10 feet into foul territory. That shows how close. You're going over, you're fielding the ball, you're straddling the bag, and you're in foul territory. You got to throw on the run and throw a strike.
One of the major concerns, and we have our Fox seminar every year, and we are told how baseball needs to get younger. Well, you want to get younger, you want the fans to be a part of it, you want them to see what the major leaguers are like. You don't think you're going to win a fan, every person that goes to that event or part of the soft toss or ground balls hit to those guys from the major leaguers. It's wonderful.
Well, then
it's how you grow the sport.
Grichuk played in the Little League World Series, so did Lance Lynn. Clint Hurdle managed the team in '91 at the Little League World Series. But I found Lance Lynn's experience and what he told you
Not me.
Most memorable. No.
Jimmy.
Oh, we told Jimmy that?
Yeah.
Well, it's worth you repeating it.
Maybe I'll just let Jim tell the story so I don't mess it up.
And he can tell a story better than none.
Hopefully Jim is listening in and will pop his mic open and he can tell us all about his visit with Lance Lynn in the Little League World Series.
Or this is the 2-hour mealtime for.
No. Jimmy's always working. As Mercer takes a ball low. But you may, imagine being a young kid and, one of these guys comes up to you and tells you how to hold a pitch or what you're doing wrong at the plate. Jim, what did Lance Lynn have to say to you?
Well, we did a couple of questions with he and Grichuk about going to Williamsport. They both played in the Little League World Series as younger people, and I said, what is your best memory? And Lance Lynn told me his best memory was meeting kids from other countries and teaching them how to say bad words in English. And then I followed up and I said, is that really your best memory? And he said, no, that was my best memory. They taught me some bad words, but I wanted to teach them.
That kind of sums up Lance Lynn.
Yep. And like you said, nobody tells a better story than Jim.
Martinez to third, on to first, and it's a double play. Martinez, Jerko, Carpenter. The double play, and it's 5-2. Baseball is brought to you by McDonald's. Cardinals hit a home run, get a free McDouble or frozen beverage the next day with a McDonald's app. Download it for exclusive deals. And by your local St. Louis area Volkswagen dealers, visit VWDealer.com. Trevor Williams finishing up his warm-up tosses. It was September 7th of last year. His dad, Richard Williams, received the ball from his first win. And that was against the Cardinals. And while that would be significant in itself, the reaction of it was raw, emotional, unscripted. His dad was told he had stage 4 8B cell lymphoma, given 60 to 90 days to live. Tumors on 3 organs. Went through 6 months of inpatient chemotherapy, spinal taps, another 2.5 months of radiation, and he made it to see his son get that first major league win.
And apparently he's doing pretty well now. Still enjoying watching his son pitch.
Raw emotion of the game. Awesome.
See that video 10 times and you still feel it.
That's it out of play by Paul DeYoung. He'd actually written his children all notes and said, you know, I love you very much. I'm going to a better place. Want you to know that, and was preparing to go. And here he is, alive and well. Also, Trevor's son was 11 months old at that time and was there. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that pitch inside. DeYoung, his first time up, struck out swinging. The 2-2. Well hit. Right center. McCutchen back. He's at the wall, and it's gone. Another home run. Third tonight for St. Louis. DeYoung is up to 19. A solo shot. What great power from the Cardinals shortstop to make it 6-2.
And he doesn't have to pull the ball here. Straightaway center field. Drives the ball. Remember, that's 19 here at the big leagues to lead the Cardinals, and he missed the first 2 months playing at Memphis. He hit 13 home runs there. 22 home runs a year ago, so the Cardinals knew he had good power. Saw an awful lot of Paul DeYoung in spring training, and he was one of the most impressive young players, but nobody knew he could do it up here as well as he's done. And he is just so grounded. That's what I find so impressive about him is you know, he strives for excellence. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. Has not had a problem of you know, taking, you know, a batted bat to the field. You know, he's just really, for a young player, he's really grounded.
A swing and a miss by Dexter Fowler. 9 different players have tried batting cleanup for the Cardinals this year. The majority of the bats going to Jed Jerko, but Fowler is the latest as he was put into that part of the lineup back on August 9th. 33 now plate appearances, including his line out back in the first, the cleanup spot, and he has produced at a high level.
3 RBIs last night, and talked to him again today and just talked about you know, when he came off this disabled list almost 2 weeks ago, you know, it was the first time that he's felt really healthy all year. Just had a bunch of nagging injuries, twice on the DL.
And now he draws a walk, and it's Riley Carpenter in that Cardinal dugout.
Let's see, the squirrel, the kitten, and Carp.
Rolls off your tongue.
Yeah. You know, I talked to Carp today about, you know, he did it right. You know, you just have to walk away for a brief period of time and understand that your career's over. You know, now he doesn't, you know, he misses the camaraderie, but he doesn't miss the competition. I think he might get back into some spikes if we keep on watching this happen.
RBI Baseball 2017 is out for Xbox, PS4, iOS, and Android. Enjoy fast-paced pick-up-and-play MLB action packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and more. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Jim will have some of his visit with Chris Carpenter coming up in the 4th inning. But good to see him around.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Yadier Molina. Started off the 2nd inning with a double into right. Came around to score on a base hit by Greg Garcia.
All these players playing today know about the competitiveness of Chris Carpenter, and so they can go up and talk to him about it, and he can share his wealth of knowledge. Or as we mentioned, sometimes in spring training they're intimidated by, you know, the Gibsons, the Brocks, the Ozzie Smiths, and They shouldn't be. Mike really made a point to tell the players to go up and talk to these guys. They're going to help you.
A strike to Yadier Molina. He had 2 hits last night. His career total now is 1,701. And number 1 in his career was right here in this ballpark. June 3rd of 2004, he made his major league debut.
What do you remember from that game?
Getting bowled over at the plate.
Exactly. The collision at home plate.
Ty Wigginton.
And all of a sudden we all said, hey, this kid's tough. Boy, we had no idea how tough he is.
Also was smoked in a game here with Josh Harrison, too.
Yes.
Ran him over, and at that point, the disabled list concussion protocol had been put into Major League Baseball. Double play ball, freeze, Harrison over to Bell. So the double play. And it brings in Jed Jerko. Grounded out to third, first time up.
It's only the 9th double play that Molina has hit into.
Left-hander Steven Brault. That is a bit surprising, only 9.
Yeah, 1 triple play. But
Brault was just recalled. Throws from the left side in their pen as they put Wade LeBlanc on the DL. Left quad strain, and he was beat up in the game last night. 6-2 our score. And Jerko hits a fly ball into right. Frazier with the catch. Cardinals with 3 home runs. Tommy Pham, Matt Carpenter, Paul DeYoung, Jose Martinez. I love it. It's 6-2. It's 3 home runs hit in this game. Tommy Pham, and look at these celebrations. They love it. The Cricket Wireless, something to smile about. They're smiling in that Cardinal dugout. Give it to me.
Martinez to the other. Carlos is pitching, so Jose's got to assume the end of the gauntlet and the ice water in the face.
Here's Starling Marte, who struck out back in the first. The only strikeout for Carlos in this game tonight. 6-2 our score. .500 average coming in against Carlos. 11 for 22 for Marte. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball left side. Barehanded by Jerko, do or die, and what a play again. He's had a couple of dandies, DeYoung as well, and the infield defense very good behind Carlos Martinez so far.
Come in here, got a jam shot, and then you barehanded, got to Marte can really fly too, so he didn't have the time to put it in the glove and make the exchange. Had to barehand it and was equal to the task. We have really been impressed with how good his defense has been this year.
Here's Josh Harrison. So another home run by DeYoung, and Paul, the rookie, is up to 19 to lead the Cardinals. Harrison calling time. I was reading a recent article written by Bernie Miklasz back home in St. Louis, and he said not only, and I really looked at the numbers that he brought up about DeYoung. He said not only is the production been there in terms of the power, and that gets your attention, and you're going to have your strikeouts, but the move to move him to the third spot in the lineup. And how many times have we brought up that the number 9 position in the lineup has been at times as productive as the number 3 spot? And Bernie really broke down the numbers, and it's glaring. The job that DeYoung has done is a really well written piece on the job of DeYoung in that third spot in the lineup.
Well, before they put him in the lineup, the 9th spot in the Cardinals batting order was more productive than the 3rd hole. Not only the pressure of playing your first year in the big leagues, but then playing shortstop, then assuming a dramatic spot in the batting order. Passes all tests, doesn't it?
It does.
And don't forget his defense too. Shown us the range that you needed to be a productive or be a good defensive player, and put that on top of his offense, and you got a keeper.
That's why the Cardinals down in the minor leagues have been using Ledmus Diaz at times at third base.
Well, and I give Ledmus some credit, because he went to Stubby and said, I want to play some other positions.
Shallow right center, and Father with the catch. Paul DeYoung, another home run tonight. Cardinals on top. Cardinals, St. Louis with 3 home runs hit tonight, highlighted by Carpenter's 3-run shot. You know, a lot of numbers here, but the idea is the offense has been a complete team effort in terms of the offensive production with home runs, RBIs, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you really spread it through the order instead of having one big or 2 boppers. Cardinals got 7 guys that just keep on going out there and producing with his home runs and RBIs. And Carpenter, with his 3-run shot today, finally got to 60 RBIs to lead the club.
It's yanked foul off the bat of Grichuk. Walked and scored back in the 2nd inning.
He had his 6th multi-hit game and his 4th multi-RBI game last night in his last 11 contests, but he's really played well here in this ballpark.
Remember, last night's game was pushed back by 20 minutes at the start. Then we had a 1 hour, 12-minute delay. See how that could affect the bullpen tonight on both sides. The Pirates' pen during their 5-game losing streak, 0-2 with an ERA at 10. They've blown 4 run leads in the last 2 games. And that'll knock you out of a race this late in the season.
Mentioned that Grichuk's really played well here his last 5 games at PNC. 8 for 20. Got 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and just 5 strikeouts. He walked the first time up and scored.
And a ground ball slowly hit up the third base line, rolls fair, and a base hit for Randall Grichuk. Really nothing Freese could do on that play.
Hoping it'd go foul, and it just stayed straight.
Kia in the driver's seat. A look at the Cardinals offense since the All-Star break, matching their very good pitching in the beginning of the year. Cardinals 5th in average. This is all of baseball. On base percentage 2nd. That's why the runs are way up, and they're 8th right now. But here recently it's been closer to 8 runs a game.
Yeah, I mean, that first couple games, not the prolific offense we've seen now.
A strike to Greg Garcia, single to left center with runners at first and second back in the 2nd inning. It's a 6-2 score.
Like just about every game in the last 10 days or so, you've got one of those big 4-run or more innings.
Go big when the Cardinals go big. They've done that tonight with 6 runs. Head to on the run tomorrow. 50-cent drinks. Here's a 1-1. The home runs hit tonight. Solo shot Tommy Pham. Matt Carpenter, 3-run homer. DeYoung, a solo home run back in the 3rd. You may recall in last night's conversation that Jim had with Tommy Pham after the game. He said, once I get my first one back, and it'd been a while, they're going to come in bunches. He's got another one here tonight. Here's a 1-2. Just missed inside.
Of course, when you pull one right down the left field line, 470 feet by Dex Cast, and then you hit one down the right field line. Hard to defend.
DexCast will give you the miles per hour and the launch angle, the distance, and that is the unofficial distance and all the categories put together by Dexter Fowler off the top of his head.
I think it's official now. 100% accuracy.
No question. The 2-2 pitch. Garcia, fly ball, and out of play. One more thought on going to Williamsport is that, you know what, these kids are going to grow up, and at some point they're the ones buying those tickets and the signage and watching the games on television and buying suites at the ballpark. So you better get them interested for the health of the game.
Not only that, but they're going to be your future players.
You hope.
Yeah. You have to have a feeder system.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Inside.
I mean, look at the future of football. You know, we have to think in 20 years it's really going to be in question. So how many of those athletes are going to come to, you know, another sport like baseball?
The 3-2 pitch. Runner goes, and it's pulled foul.
haven't heard too many professional football players that say they want their kids to play that game.
Well, the CTE discussion
Exactly.
is front and center.
Got a lot of friends that played in my era that you know, are just crippled. You don't even forget about the brain.
That's a base hit into left center. The runner is Grichuk. He was off of the pitch and held up by Mike Schilt, and Garcia racing back to the bag at first base.
Love to see that, don't you? Start the runner, and then Garcia, just like the hit he had back in the second inning, another one. Grichuk running on the play. He sees the ball. It's right in front of him, so he can go on third. Knows that he's got that made easily.
And that's going to be it for Trevor Williams. And mentioned the issues, the bullpen for Clint Hurdle. We'll see if that continues here tonight. Steven Brault, or Chevy, called to the pen. The left-hander coming on. Get up. There's Mike Claiborne there. He's going to get up, and he's got his Mike Shannon alarm clock to get him up. There it is. August 27th. That day, 30,000 fans 16 and older receive a one-of-a-kind Mike Shannon talking alarm clock presented by Goodwill. August 27th. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. I like that spot.
Oh, always wondered what he'd look like waking up in the morning.
There it is. He's got his Mike Shannon clock to help him out. Martinez drops down the bunt. Grichuk to the plate and safe. Run scores.
Grichuk.
Somehow he avoids the tag, and Grichuk makes it a 7-2 St. Louis lead.
He got tagged in the face or not, but they're going to possibly the 10th RBI for Martinez. So difficult to defense. You know, the safety squeeze, they're going to challenge this one. Get the bunt down. Brault gets to it, flips it to his catcher.
Tough to tell at that angle.
Yeah. I thought to the naked eye, I thought he was out. There it looks like the hand may get there. Kind of the umpire kind of blocks our view. Davis grew up in St. Louis, crew chief there on your left, but he makes his home in Appleton, Wisconsin now. Cooper, St. Louis, an umpire, he texted me the other day during the game, watching this, and I said afterwards, I said, what were you doing watching a baseball game on your vacation? He said, I was barbecuing and I just had it on for noise.
Nice.
All right.
So the run scores. Brault did everything he could, and let's give Martinez some credit there. A good bunt, good enough to score Grichuk, and then Grichuk angling his body to avoid the tag.
You see the glove comes up and kind of catches him in the face and that eye, but he's playing his own umpire before he tries to clear his vision.
So makes it a 7-2 Cardinal lead. A 3-run homer by Carpenter back in the second inning. Runners at first and second. Carpenter called out on strikes first time up. Inning started with the infield hit by Grichuk. Garcia, his second hit of the night to left center. And then the bunt put down by Martinez to score Randall Grichuk. So runners at first and second, 1 ball, 1 strike on Carpenter. We had a relief pitcher coming in to face the opposing pitcher.
I did not like that at all, but of course, Clint's response to a pitcher that would be upset with that, should have got people out.
And why don't you like it?
Well, because I like to think even when I'm struggling, I can get an opponent's pitcher out.
And that's the point.
Yeah, and there's another one that you hate too, is you called in from the bullpen and the first thing they ask you to do is intentionally walk somebody. You know, why should I do something negative? Why should you trying to think everything positive and now you ask me to do something negative? Now sometimes you can't help it because they might switch a pinch hitter and it makes sense. But if you're going to intentionally walk the guy, have the pitcher ahead of it do it and then bring in the reliever fresh.
And a 3-2 pitch now to Matt Carpenter. Pulled foul. Imagine where this team could go offensively if Carpenter gets hot. Has one of those patented 10 to 14 day stretches where you just can't get him out. Right now the rest of the lineup is really contributing. Not to say that he hasn't been, but get really hot, watch out.
Ball hit a gentleman in the side of the head.
Here's a 3-2. Carpenter pops it up left side. David Freese over near the tarp and out of play. Previous pitch, the line drive, and apparently it hit a fan on top of the head.
I mean, they do have the screen all the way to the end of the dugout, but there's just, you know, can't protect everybody. But swelled up, but it didn't appear that it broke the skin. Just the ice pack. And a good story.
Depends your viewpoint. Inside, bases loaded. Still nobody out near this top of the fourth.
Now, Brault came up last year at the end of the season and pitched in 8 games. 7 of them were starts. Cardinals did have some experience with him. Carpenter was 0 for 2. Tommy Pham 0 for 2 against him. So he could break things open right here, couldn't he?
Bases loaded. First pitch fouled back. Tommy Pham, a solo home run in the first inning, grounded out to second in the second. Brault made his debut against the Cardinals. 4 hits, couple of runs, struck out 5. Time of his call up, led the International League, that's AAA, with a 1.94 ERA. Here's the 0-1. Actually was the International Player of the Week last week, as he went 2-0. Here's a 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Inside. Bases loaded, still nobody out. The 2-2 pitch to Tommy Pham. 3-2. Garcia. He's at third base. Martinez at second. Carpenter at first.
Looks like we're seeing fastballs, changeups. Probably a fastball on 3-2.
Pham. Left side, Freeze. What a play. Takes a hit away from Tommy Pham. Nice play by David Freeze. Run does score. And that makes it an 8-2 St. Louis lead. Boy, what a nifty play there, huh?
Yeah, well, we've seen David do that, and he's so slick over there, but gets over there, takes a hit away from Tommy Pham. He does pick up an RBI, his second of the night.
Here's Paul DeJong, home run back in the third. It's now an 8-2 Cardinal lead. Infield is drawn in. And there's strike 1. Runners at second and third now for Paul DeJong. The State Farm perfect pair. That barehanded play from DeJong, and then his home run. A little bit of everything tonight.
Hitting becomes contagious. Arnold just continue to score runs.
The Kubota power stats: DeJong 19 home runs. Pujols had 37 among Cardinal rookies, all-time best.
Remember, he missed 2 months, first 2 months of the season, playing at AAA. Had 13 home runs there, 19 in the big leagues, and who knows where it'll end up. He's on pace to be right behind Albert in so many offensive categories for a rookie.
Not for Cody Bellinger. He'd be maybe the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year in the National League.
Josh Bell is another candidate, first baseman for the Pirates. But, like I said, playing shortstop and doing a good job there.
Here's a 1-2 pitch.
You see him, learning and making adjustments, cut down on those strikeouts, and then you're really going to have something. Turn on an inside fastball, have a little better idea of the strike zone. Don't chase the off-speed pitch away.
Outside, 2-2.
Brault has had these pitches like that where they're so far outside they don't even, tempt to hit her.
Good luck trying to figure out the signs.
2-2. First sign. Because your mind can't figure out those other ones, so you just sit there and say, what's the first sign? And all the others after that don't make a difference.
Brault really a late bloomer. Arm really wasn't ready for bigger programs. And he went to a Division II school. Regis. The 2-2 pitch. Popped up into shallow right. Harrison calling for it. Backing up and making the catch. Brault has the honeycomb pattern tattoos running up both his arms.
I remember that from a year ago. Now that you mention it, see him.
He was a music major, part of a music band, and that's what he does a lot of times in his free time and off season when he's not concentrating on baseball. Slowly hit to Brault. Steps and throws. Low throw, and Bell makes the play. The slide by Randall Grichuk. It's another big inning for the Cardinals. They have scored in every inning tonight. And it adds up to an 8-2 St. Louis lead. He was on the pregame show with Jim Hayes. Jimmy, what did he have to say?
Well, Dan, you and I were talking about this. It's hard to not notice Chris Carpenter and how he's looked in the dugout. That intense look most of the time gripping a baseball. I asked Chris if he had gotten baseball completely out of his system. He told me very clearly, yes, yes, yes. Pitching-wise, yes. Carpenter told me he might be ready to return to the game as a coach or in the front office. As you know, Carpenter had briefly worked for the Cardinals and enjoyed it, but he told me the timing wasn't right. I had a lot going on in my personal life. He told me the first step was really understanding that you're not going to play again. He said, when you go help out at spring trainings again, feeling like you're going to be playing again, it's not the time to get back involved. You have to know you're on the other side. This past spring training, I finally got that. Dan, it's great to see him back, though.
It is great to see him back. He was one of the most intense competitors that we've ever been around, and certainly fans at home could sense that watching the games. And really one of the great postseason pitchers in the history of Cardinals baseball.
I gave him the ultimate compliment that I said he was Gibson-like. And to me, that is a great, great competitor. I'll never forget the 1-0 victory against Philadelphia and Halladay.
Roy Halladay on the mound. Skip Schumacher, the only run driven in with an extended at bat. And Carpenter credits his time in Toronto for really shaping him and who he became as a pitcher. Guys like David Wells and Roger Clemens, Woody Williams, big influences for him.
Another guy we don't mention enough is Pat Hentgen.
Another one.
Yeah.
Ground ball that's hit to DeYoung, but it was a masterful game. Game 5, Citizens Bank Park. As we flash back, the end of an era for the Phillies. The Cardinals keep on rolling. Ryan Howard goes down, tears his Achilles. And the reaction here by Chris Carpenter.
What a contrast. You see the Cardinals, just a pure joy, and then to see, Howard, on the ground being attended to, and really he was never the same after that tearing the Achilles. So I saw recently he just signed another minor league contract with, was it Arizona or Colorado, one of the wild card teams?
He's in the minor leagues. Postseason career 10-4, ERA and even 3. If you're at an even 3 or below in this day and age, that's impressive. DeYoung in the hole, 2 away. He signed with the Rockies. Ryan Howard was with Atlanta earlier in the season.
Just with Atlanta briefly, and I think when Matt Adams was traded over to Atlanta, I think that discouraged Howard because he wasn't there at AAA very long. But probably worked out, got himself a little better shape, and now he's going to try and make it again. And who knows, he may show up in postseason or in September.
When Chris Carpenter went into the Cardinals Hall of Fame, he was very, very emotional about it, and took that as a great compliment to his career, his accomplishments. Just being a Cardinal for life is what he said to me. I always feel that they are part of my family and vice versa. So 609, and he's tied with Sammy Sosa for the most home runs hit by a Dominican-born player in Major League history.
We were shocked to see the Angels are now a wild card team.
They are a half game in front of Kansas City, Minnesota 1 back, and Seattle and Texas a game and a half back. There's a look at the active leaders in home runs. 0-2 pitch. And there's a swing and a miss by Yadier Molina. When you think about Pujols, you think about how much he has given back to the community, both at home and abroad. And his annual golf tournament is coming up on Monday. And then it ties into thinking about Roberto Clemente. And he would have been, as we talked about earlier, 83 years of age today. A .317 career hitter. An even 3,000 hits. 12 Gold Gloves. He won 4 batting titles, 3 of the 4 from 1964 to 67. The year he didn't win the batting title, he won the MVP. And when he stepped to the plate at Three Rivers, the organist played the theme from Jesus Christ Superstar.
Danny, that didn't even talk about his defense and his great throwing arm.
It was a plane overloaded with relief supplies that crashed into the Atlantic Ocean New Year's Eve 1972 as he was headed to earthquake-stricken Nicaragua. And 3 days after his death, Hall of Fame waived the customary 5-year waiting period to be elected to the Hall. And the waiting period has only been waived for one other player, and that was Lou Gehrig. The Clemente wall, 21 feet high. 9 other players have had their number retired by the Pirates. Clemente's is number 21. The All-Star game in '06 was really a celebration of his life, and there's many throughout baseball that believe number 21 should be retired throughout the game.
Danny, I started one game in the big leagues. It was my 3rd big league appearance, and it was at Forbes Field here in Pittsburgh. And there's the Clemente, but the pitching coach, Billy Muffett, said, I'm not going to teach you how to, or tell you how to pitch these guys, but I will say, Clemente, don't throw anything inside. Don't even try and knock him down. You'll hit it for a rope. First time up, I got the first 2 batters out. I threw a curveball. He got a base hit over shortstop. Got the next batter out, came in, and he says, oh, I forgot to tell you, don't throw any curveballs either. But got 2 hits off me that day. He was 2 for 3, and so I've always said without my contribution, he would not have 3,000 hits.
There's a museum here to honor Roberto Clemente. He is Mr. Pirate. He is what this franchise wants to stand for. What he meant in selling the game, being around children and helping them learn the game and sign the autographs, teach the game. As Grichuk beats the shift and a base hit into left field. He's everything you would want to have in a superstar and in a major league player.
One of the most prestigious awards in baseball is the Clemente Award, for what you do on the field and for the community or for baseball on and off the field.
2015, Andrew McCutchen won the Clemente Award. And it's for your contributions to the game of baseball both on and off the field. And McCutchen said he knew of Clemente when he was 11. Went to a baseball camp in San Juan, Puerto Rico, the city where Clemente was born and raised. And that's where he met Manny Sanguillen, former Pirates catcher who played alongside Clemente. And he heard the stories about Clemente giving back and what he did, not on the field, but more so, he said, off the field. We heard so much about this great Clemente guy that would give back to all these kids. And the only other Pirate to win the Clemente Award was Willie Stargell.
I was going to say Stargell.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Garcia. Grichuk on base for the 3rd time. He has walked and scored. Infield hit and scored. Now single to left, and Greg Garcia is 2 for 2. I mean, you look around the ballpark, the majority of the jerseys are number 21 being worn by the fans. as his impact is still felt today. It's a famous story with Neil Walker, who is a Pittsburgh native, and his father, a former major leaguer, was supposed to be on that trip to Nicaragua, and Neil Walker says if Roberto didn't tell him to stay home because of some issues that they had back at home, he said, I wouldn't be here. My dad wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't be here. Two balls and two strikes. And Garcia hits a high fly ball. The Roberto Clemente Award winner of 2015. Andrew McCutchen makes the catch. With Cepeda there, the great Roberto Clemente. As we move to bottom of the fifth, and tomorrow the Cardinals and Pirates right here on Fox Sports Midwest. Come your way, 2:30 pregame show, and LA and Detroit. That'll be on FS1 at 2. And the first pitch taken for a ball underway here in the bottom of the fifth. Diaz grounded out to third, first time up, and he's 0 for 1. You look up, and after a little bit of a rocky start for Martinez, solo home run in the first and the second. Since then, he has been dialed in. Backhanded by Garcia. Tough play. Nicely done, Greg Garcia.
Very nice. It's twice in this ball game that Cardinal infielders have robbed Diaz. Jerko the first time with a barehanded grab. Here a ball up the middle, showing off that arm strength as you're running straight into left field, and you got to kind of jump up and reverse direction and throw it there. And see where Carlos gets a little chuckle out of that.
When I think of a Pirate and a great throwing arm, Dave Parker, the All-Star game was just incredible. But certainly you see the highlights of Roberto Clemente, and you mentioned it last half inning. His arm was an absolute cannon.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Parker is so big that, you know, you kind of think, okay, he's got one. When Clemente, the arm was just as big.
And a base hit into center by Jordy Mercer. First base runner since back in the second for the Pirates. There it is, Clemente. This is at Wrigley, I believe. Nope, Dodger Stadium. Look at that, spinning and throwing. Holy smokes.
It's a World Series.
Oh, that's Baltimore. Though.
Baltimore.
Yep.
On Memorial Stadium.
Did you ever have the chance to visit with him at length at all? I know that fraternization wasn't a big deal, or wasn't really allowed back then.
Yeah, hey, he was a superstar. I was just a punk kid.
What caught Molina, a little funny. Strike one.
Foul tip on the bare hand. Boy, you don't realize what a catcher's hands was inside the glove or the bare hand, how much of a beating it takes over the course of a year. Now, I've started getting arthritis in my fingers, but you can imagine what these catchers end up with, the hands all gnarled. And
just 3 days after he passed away, again, a 5-year waiting period to go to the Hall of Fame, and they waived that. And the only other player to have that honor, Lou Gehrig. That should tell you everything you need to know about Roberto Clemente.
Well, remember, with 3,000 hits, that was instant admission into the Hall, and so it was only a formality waiting, and they did the right thing.
No question.
If I'm not mistaken, well, I mean, they didn't. I don't know if they waited 5 years, but they kind of made an amendment with Koufax, from a longevity standpoint. He didn't have the longevity that you normally would associate with a Hall of Famer, but he had the dominance of an era.
3-1 to count on Steven Brault, the pitcher. Pham backing up, making the catch. You'd like to see that. Positioned perfectly, pitcher up, left-handed batter playing in and towards the line.
Brault got his first hit off of Mike Leake, so maybe the Cardinals, that was when he was as a Cardinal, so maybe they kind of learned something from that. I saw where David Freese's first major league hit was off of Zach Duke when he was with the Pirates, and David with the Cardinals.
There's Starling Marte, 0 for 2 tonight against Martinez. He is struck out and grounded out to third. Pitch taken low for ball one. You have the Clemente Bridge. It's one of 3 parallel bridges called the Three Sisters here in Pittsburgh. The others being the Rachel Carson Bridge, the Andy Warhol Bridge. That was renamed to honor Clemente. The Pirates actually sold the naming rights to this ballpark, and there was a hugely popular sentiment in Pittsburgh to name the ballpark after Clemente, but they sold the naming rights and came up with the bridge, and a lot of fans go back and forth on the Clemente Bridge from downtown here to the ballpark.
It's a good compromise. Pirates needed the revenue from the naming rights, and yet you still honor one of your greatest players with the bridge, which transcends just baseball.
Here's a 1-2. I'd have no problem with Major League Baseball and Rob Manfred came out and said, if you're wearing number 21, you can keep it until you're done, but we will automatically retire the number across the board so that people remember what it means to be a pro on and off the field and keep that memory alive.
Good idea.
High drive Deep right. Grichuk back at the wall, and it's off the top of number 21. The Clemente wall, and Marte digging for third with a triple.
Well, we talked about it in our keys of the game. Marte's success against Carlos Martinez. He got him out the first 2 times, but he just showed you why. He had a .500 average. This is his 12th hit in 25 plate appearances against Carlos. Down and away, takes it the opposite way, and off that screen on the 21 high Clemente wall. 2 outs. That's enough.
It seemed fitting with us talking about Clemente that he puts one off the wall. 8-3 our score. Good slider, but he doesn't chase. So 21 feet high. Low strike on Harrison, 1-1. Had a solo home run back in the first and struck out swinging in the third.
Early in the game, Williams wasn't getting those low strikes, but there was a pitcher's pitch right there, down and away, right on the block, and Carlos got it.
Reaching for it, and a ground ball on a hop to Jerko, and he makes the play. Harrison hustling down the line. The Clemente Bridge, fans going back and forth, making their way to the ballpark, and a beautiful night here at PNC. You to tee off for the Blues for Kids Foundation on Monday, September 11th, alongside players, coaches, alumni, and executives. Foursomes are on sale now. Visit stlouisblues.com/golf classic for more information. Also a special shout out to the Sacred Heart Valley Park Men's Club golf tourney coming up as well. And there's a base hit for Carlos Martinez on his way to second base.
He rifled that ball down there at double. He's got an RBI earlier in this game, and now a double. Fancies himself as a hitter. Look at him lift that leg up, puts it down, and smokes it just inside the foul line down third base into left field. Look at Marte, knows that angle down there. Went right back. Instead of cutting across, he went back and played the carom off that corner wall. All 8 runs have been charged to the starter Williams, so they haven't dented Brault yet. Maybe they can do it here.
So here's Carpenter, 3-run homer back in the second and walked in the fourth. Can't put the exaggerated shift on with him and may not need to here. Fly ball into right. Catch is made. Martinez to the bag at second. Tags up on his way to third. Martinez, by the way, 3rd multi-hit game this year, the 8th of his career.
Fancied himself as a shortstop before toeing the rubber. One out here and over third, maybe an easy opportunity for Tommy Pham to pick up another RBI. He's got 2 on the night. Infield in.
Solo home run and a ground out for an RBI. And a pitch that misses inside. Little chopper foul. Back in the first inning. Are they going to start coming in bunches? There's number 16 the opposite way. And another ground ball that's tapped foul. This is only the 2nd time in the history of baseball. This surprised me from Stats Inc. that a game had at least 1 homer in each of the first 5 half innings. The other time was 1984. Does that seem right to you?
No.
Diving stop by David Freese. Takes the hit away from Pham.
And a couple nice stops over at third base tonight. The Cardinal fans are well acquainted with his glove and how well he can play D. Off the line, so Martinez was able to get back. Looks him back, standing on the bag.
And DeYoung fouls it back. He had a solo home run back in the 3rd inning.
Took that ball to right center. And I think that's a good sign for me. Here's the 19th home run. It's out away from him, and he takes it that way. We've seen him pull most of his home runs, and it's getting more and more pitched away, particularly with off-speed pitches or breaking balls. And so if he starts going that way, his adjustment.
DeYoung, a base hit into center field. He drives in his 2nd of the night. He's now up to 46. Martinez scores, and it's 9-3 St. Louis.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, now he's making those adjustments where if they're going to pitch him away, you know, he'll start taking it up the middle.
This guy can flat out hit, Al.
He can. And,
man.
But I'm just telling you, it's, you know, he's got a unique skill set, and for a young hitter, and really a guy that was not a prospect even in college, you know, he's made some adjustments real quick.
Ball 1 to Dexter Fowler. 9-3 our score. Here's a 1-0 pitch. I guess you got to be well, you got to have the last name of Martinez if you're going to throw a cup of water in somebody's face. That's my guess.
That's it. That's it.
If Carlos is pitching, then it goes to Jose. The other 4 days, it's Carlos. In the air, deep right center field. This ball is Off the wall. DeYoung racing to third. Relay to the plate. The throw by Harrison is not in time. DeYoung scores. The double by Fowler, and it's 10-3 St. Louis.
Ten runs for the Cardinals is becoming a regular thing in the second half, isn't it? Misses a home run by less than a foot. And Young racing all the way home. Throw a little bit up there, try to come back and dive for it, but touches home plate ahead of it. 49th RBI for Dexter.
Here's Yadier Molina. Molina, a drive out to deep left, backing up Marte near the wall, and he's got it. Just missed a two-run homer. Cardinals tack on. They've scored in every inning of this game except one. With the Cardinals on top, 11 hits and 10 runs by St. Louis. The T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball break. Albert Pujols, as we mentioned earlier, home run number 609. John Lester's been put on the DL with shoulder fatigue. Cubs do win today. Andrew Miller has been activated from the DL out since August 2nd, and a weapon for Terry Francona and the Indians here down the stretch. 12 game scoring, 10 or more runs. And 5 of the 12 have come here in the month of August.
And in the first half, the Cardinals scored 10 runs in 5 games. Here in the second half, they've already done it 7 times. And like you say, in the month of August, they've been really productive.
There's Jerko to his left, and he makes the play. This has kind of been the pattern for Carlos Martinez. Rough first innings. After that settles in, and that's the case again here tonight.
He's trying to win for the 3rd time in a row. Might get over 500. He had the 10th best ERA in the National League, but was at 500. Didn't get a lot of run support, but he can't complain about it now. Not tonight.
Josh Bell with 1 out, nobody on. We focused a lot on Clemente tonight. This would have been his 83rd birthday because of the humanitarian aspect of his life. But man, the influence of some of the great players that we know of even today that have come from Puerto Rico to the United States. Orlando Cepeda, Cardinal history. Carlos Beltran, another one. The Molina brothers. Pudge Rodriguez went into the Hall of Fame as Bell lines it to center. And Fowler with a sliding catch.
Jorge Posada, Carlos Delgado. I mean, the list goes on. And when you talk to those players, even though he's been gone and gone well before those players were born, some of them, they all mention him and the impact that he is the #1 guy from Puerto Rico. They all talk about him. We saw the great passion and pride in the World Baseball Classic of Team Puerto Rico too.
You know, when you come from some of those Latin American countries, you know, it's the only way out of poverty is sports. Carlos helped his mom, you know, shining shoes, as a little boy, and baseball gives them that opportunity. You know, a lot of the Latin American players are criticized because they don't walk. And great comment by one of the former teammate in the Atlanta Braves, young shortstop, and he said, well, you don't walk off the island.
Got to hit off the
island.
island.
Got to hit your way off the island.
The 2-2 pitch to David Freese, hit out of play.
That line was from Rafael Ramirez, shortstop with the Atlanta Braves. Classic line.
And a swing and a miss. He may have chased the ball. A strikeout for Carlos. Number 3 tonight. We head to the 7th. Weekend on Friday, August 25th. That day, 30,000 fans, 16 and older. Be surprised at the gates when they find out which mystery Cardinals Hall of Fame manager bobblehead they'll receive. Courtesy of Equifax, and it could be Red, Whitey, Torrey, LaRussa. Visit Cardinals.com/promotions for tickets. Cardinals hit a home run in this inning. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. There's Jed Jerko. He's hitless tonight. Some changes for the Pirates.
And Sean Rodriguez out in center field. New second baseman, Mac Roth. There he is, number 62.
Jerko hits it out of play. There's Max, a switch hitter.
Walt is saving the bullpen. Only giving up 2 runs, and he came in the 4th inning with nobody out. A couple men on.
That's pulled foul.
Turco had 3 hits last night, including a home run.
Reaching for it, ground ball hit to short. Carlos Martinez at 88 pitches. So at some point, see the bullpen, and with a 7-run lead, you do try to catch an inning or two if you can. If you're Mike Matheny this late in the season, I'm sure that's maybe part of the process that they're talking about right now. How deep do we go with Carlos?
And you know, not sure when Myers last pitched.
Another great play by David Freese, getting Grichuk. Now, I thought earlier in the year when we saw David Freese return again to St. Louis, it's the best we had seen him move laterally and running down the line.
Yeah, I mean, he's in really good shape. You know, he got married, and you know, and I think he's got his personal life under control and very, very happy. And he's played very well here in Pittsburgh and found a home. And I think that, as you said, he's in good shape, and you know, we wish him nothing but the best. You know, he's just a great young man from St. Louis, and he will go down as a legend in Cardinals, what he did in the 11 World Series.
Go on the speaking circuit if he wanted to.
I'll run for mayor.
Could do that too. High pop up. Let's just stay away from politics. What do you say? David Freese, great play again. He's had 3 of them tonight. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. So Carlos Martinez back to work. We mentioned it, 10 runs on the board. 5th time the last 12 games the Cardinals have scored double digits. They had done that only 7 times in the previous 110 games. 1 pitch, 1 out. And it's Luke Voit at first base. Tommy Pham in center field. Jose Martinez in left. And a strike.
Who's going to throw the water?
Carlos goes out. It's Carlos.
Okay. I like him back on the mound. You know, Carlos is, can we say that he maybe found the right hair color?
I could care less.
It's a little purple. I care when he wins.
Come up, be prepared, be ready to go every 5th day.
That's it.
And Diaz, the strikeout, the tag by Molina. Well, once again, want to remind you, StubHub is your ticket out to once-in-a-lifetime experiences, from Cardinal games to amazing concerts to shows you just don't want to miss. StubHub connects you with the world of live. StubHub, your ticket out, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals. 2 outs, and Mercer backing away from that pitch inside. How about this? Be a good pro, be someone that kids can look up to off the field, which he has done a remarkable job with his charities and helping out a lot of kids. And in Carlos Martinez's case, every 5th day, be ready to go.
I really commend him for what he's done, you know, off the field. You know, it's tough enough to just be acclimated to a new country and, you know, language and everything else, but he has taken it a step further and really doing a nice job helping. You know, you don't realize how many Hispanics are in our viewing area, and he's trying to win them over and make them believe that baseball is maybe an option for them. Jaso hit.
Well, here's John Jaso. He of the long dreadlocks. 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. He has proven to be a very good pinch hitter for Clint Hurdle's club.
Almost a 300 hitter. He's got 3 pinch hit home runs this year.
And a ground ball that's taken there by Voit. Steps on the bag.
Chevy Cole to the pen. This will be Daniel Hudson, 54th appearance, a 4.60 ERA. He has the 8th inning, and the Cardinals with a big lead here in Pittsburgh. The score of 10-3. Carson Kelly will be the batter for St. Louis. He'll pinch hit for Carlos Martinez. Carlos 2 for 3 with a run scored.
And Mike Myers is warming up, so he'll be the next Cardinal pitcher. As you see, Daniel Hudson is Monday pitch arsenal. I'm still a little perplexed as to having Carson Kelly up here and not playing hardly at all, and it seemed like he could do that, play every day at AAA, and then he could, shadow Molina and do what he's doing this month, next month.
Kelly with a high fly ball into right, and backing up to make the catch right on the edge of the track, Adam Frazier. So 1 out. It'll bring in Luke Voigt.
Byproduct of scoring all these runs is you get your bench guys get a little bit of playing time and keep them sharp for when they do pinch hit. Get a little rest for your regulars. Everybody's happy.
So 10-3 our score. And a strike to Luke Voigt. So Myers just called up, getting loose. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Luke Voigt. 1-2.
Pitched in last night's ball game. See, he pitched inning and 2/3. Scoreless, no hits, no walks.
And a strikeout of Voigt. Back in the first inning, it's Tommy Pham in this opposite field home run with the Nissan drive of the game. So back-to-back nights with a home run. He's driven in 2 tonight. RBI total is up to 52.
Robbed twice by David Freese in this game.
There's ball 1. Big gap in left center and a 2-0 pitch. Inside, 3-0. Reminder, tomorrow is a day game. Michael Wacha and Chad Kuhl. As will come your way at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon with the pregame show. Wacha looking for win number 10. And then Sunday in Williamsport to wrap up the road trip and this series. And there's ball 4. So Tommy Pham on base for the second time. Big night for DeYoung again. 2 hits, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. And there's ball one. So third inning. Tell you what, our truck and Brian McCann and Tom Mead, they've been busy tonight with all these replays of highlights and home runs.
Great job. Fun to show them when they're all Cardinal highlights. Batting .302 right now.
Also Keith O'Brien and his top assistant Keith Oberman also working in the truck.
Think Oberman will ever get a solo shot?
Paul DeYoung have a night. Base hit into center field. Tommy Pham from first to third on his way and safe. That's how you run the bases.
That's right. You know, 10-3, but go ahead. You know, play the game hard. Play it the right way. Third hit by DeYoung. They're playing behind him, so he gets that extra lead. You see him take advantage. That's Rodriguez, who was challenging him right there. Good throw, but the speed beat it at third. Martinez will get a chance to drive him in.
Manny Sanguillen's barbecue. The beef brisket that was had today by Stephen Fairbush. He was talking all afternoon about it. He works in our truck and he said you need to go out and get that beef.
Is Manny still out there?
I did not see him.
Yeah, I was going to say that used to, but I haven't heard of him or haven't seen him come around in time. He was fun. He loved life and everything. The ball right down the middle and he confused him. Didn't know where to go, inside out, pull it.
It's Jose Martinez at the plate, pulls it foul.
Sangy had a lot of fun playing this game.
I wish you would have had a little fun when you were playing, Al. 13 years and you were always in bed by about 10:30, 11 after a game and get up early.
AM.
The Matt Ungarian never went out. Just focus on the task at hand. Up the middle and a base hit. 11-3 Cardinals. He comes through on an 0-2 pitch that scores Tommy Pham.
Notice now, instead of every Cardinal player having a different hand gesture, now they're all united and they lace their fingers as we are together. And it's made a difference as this team has come together and scoring a lot of runs.
This has been a 2-out rally. It was a walk by Pham. DeYoung, the base hit to center. And the base hit by Martinez to drive in Tommy Pham. And here's Molina. Runners at first and second. First pitch taken high.
Cardinals had 11 runs last night. They've scored 11 right now. Got 13 hits. Last night they had 15.
Yadier Molina, 1,701 hits. Closing in on Ted Simmons, 1,704, and Jim Bottomley. Some of the greats in Cardinal history, Flood and Boyer and Ozzie Smith. All-time hits leaders in St. Louis Cardinals history.
Season's over. He'll be in 10th place.
Here's a 2-0 pitch. .30 pitch to Yadier Molina. 3-1. Jed Jerko at the on-deck circle. May have broken his bat. A grounder that's hit to short. Mercer flips over to Bell. Cardinals score again. It's 11-3. Baseball is brought to you by Bud Light, famous among friends, and by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Very nice night here in Pittsburgh, PA. 11-3, 13-hit attack for the Cardinals this evening. So there's Mike Myers, third appearance this year. Last appearance in the big leagues, July 12th against Washington. Last appearance at AAA was on the 13th of this month, inning in 2/3.
Oh, he was working out of the pen. Chevy call to the bullpen brings Myers in. Just recalled today as Adam Wainwright was placed on the disabled list.
Carson Kelly, his catcher.
Probably know the extent of or what the doctors find out from Adam tomorrow. Hopefully we get good news.
Marte backing away from a strike, and it's 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. 1-2.
Myers was selected in the 3rd round, 93rd overall in the 2013 first-year player draft. Made his debut July 24th last season against the Dodgers, and I can't think of another worst outing. But since that time, he's pitched well. That was nightmarish, wasn't it?
It was.
But you know what? He showed a lot of fortitude just to stand there and take it, and and then the Cardinals brought him back and showed that he can pitch at this level.
Marte fights it off and a base hit into right field. The top of the 3rd, Milwaukee with a 2-1 lead over Colorado. BJC Healthcare difference maker. Teams averaging 1 or more home runs a game. 28 of the teams at least getting 1 home run in their games a night. That's an incredible jump over the last handful of years. Only the Pirates and Giants not on that list. Well hit, deep right. Will it stay fair? It does, and it may find its way to the Allegheny. Max Maroff, 2 home runs. Both have been against the Cardinals this year.
Down the middle, up a little bit, and boy, there was no doubt about this. Clears not only the wall, but clears the stadium and us into the river.
The Ducks were in the way out there. It scared them. They started to scatter a bit. There's Sean Rodriguez, took over in center field. No balls and a strike on Rodriguez. His dad has been a longtime manager in the minor leagues, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Springfield now signed a 2-year contract, free agent with Atlanta, but got into a very serious car accident, and he just banged up. Just recently got back to the Pirates, and good to see him back. He's really a very valuable guy with his ability to play all over the field. I remember a couple of years ago, Clint Hurdle said he was our best defensive player, and said you picked the spot, but he's the best at it.
420 feet distance of that home run.
Now it's not Dex? He didn't make that, did he?
Dex Cast, no.
Oh, okay. Well, that's subjective.
Schugel is warming up in the pen for the Pirates. Pitched in the 9th inning last night. This is a fireworks night. A lot of boats starting to line up on the river. Getting ready for a fireworks night here at PNC Park.
Cardinals have had their fireworks, but been 6 home runs in this game, 3 by each side.
Three balls, 2 strikes on Sean Rodriguez. Pitch number 14 here in the bottom of the 8th, and still nobody out.
John was acquired from Atlanta on August the 5th. He's hit .250 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs in 9 games with the Pirates.
Three-two pitch again, and a foul ball again. Three-two pitch, and he walked him. Budweiser player of the game and a Budweiser look at what's on tap. We'll start with what's on tap. Michael Wacha, Chad Cole, 2:30 tomorrow. Afternoon baseball here from PNC.
But Cecil will start throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. I mean, Mike Matheny wants Myers to finish this game, but he also doesn't want it to get away.
That home run did bounce into the Allegheny, not on the fly. 44th time a ball has landed into the river here in PNC. 30 different players have done that. There's Josh Bell. Big power from this young man. One ball and one strike. Voit playing behind the runner. Rodriguez at first base. Here's a 1-1 pitch. 1-2. Usually, if the home team is trailing by 8 in the 8th, which was the case when we started the inning, a lot of times the fans leave, but when you have the fireworks, they stick around.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering why they were sticking around, but then fireworks is the reason.
Inside. Two is hit out to center. Pham going back. He won't get there. One hops off the wall. Run will score. That's Rodriguez. And with that, Bell makes it 11-6.
Just looks like everything is up over the middle of the plate. Pham gets it out here, and now Derek Lilliquist will go out and talk to Myers, giving Cecil a little more time to be ready. Probably his last hitter with the lefty Adam Frazier on deck.
Runner at second, David Freese in ball one. You can understand if you're Myers, start getting a little gun shy here, you pick.
Well, that's the worst thing you could do. You just have to execute better pitches and keep it out of the middle.
One swing of the bat, David Freese makes this an 11-8 game, and things become interesting.
More than interesting. Got to put a stop to it right now.
Two-one pitch. 2-2.
Carson Kelly catching him, so I mean, Carson knows what his best stuff is.
First out here in the bottom of the 8th.
There's a hanging breaking ball that just missed.
Adam Frazier with one out, runner at second base. And ball one.
Everything's up over the middle of the plate. 93, 94, the fastball. The slider. 85.
Fly ball into left. Jose Martinez over. Dropped it.
Little nonchalant. Wants to come over here and everything reaches up. Tries to do it one-handed. Took his eye off it and the ball pops out. It's not what Myers needed either. I love Jose, but you know that he knows he made a big mistake there.
Now Diaz. 11-6 our score here in the bottom of the 8th. Cecil is loose. He's ready to go. Two and 0.
30 pitches too.
Two and 1.
Pirates are getting very, very comfortable in the box. Vicious swings.
See if you can't get that ground ball and get out of here. Pitch number 33 of the inning.
Just trying to overthrow everything and it's up.
A drive into right, and that ball is down. One hop off the wall. One run is in. Here comes another. Diaz to third, and he is out. That's out number 2. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, Mike can't wait any longer.
Chevy called to the pen. It's gotten interesting now. It's 11-8. 11-8. Brett Cecil in for the 58th time this season. He's been roughed up lately. Oh boy.
Now the right-handers, he's had more success against them. About 100 points lower than lefties facing Cecil.
And a strike. Osuna at the on-deck circle for the Pirates. Lefties hitting .350 against him. 58 appearances now, tied for third most in the National League. Mercer is 1 for 2 against the Cardinals lefty.
And Dan, what you hoped for is Bowman would have a day off, and now he has to warm up.
Bowman was fantastic in the game last night. Came on with runners at first and second, nobody out. Had a 1-2-3, nobody scored.
Only threw 10 pitches. You know, 60th appearance. But you would hope in a game where you score 11 runs and your starter only goes 7, gives up 3, that you'd only use one reliever, and that was the Myers, but not to be.
Mercer, this may drop. No. On the run, making the catch, Randall Grichuk. Big inning for Pittsburgh. 11-8 our score. Jay Schugel into the ball game. Saw him pitch last night, a scoreless inning. This will be his 16th appearance of the year. Righties at a 275 clip. Jed Jerko will lead it off. Cardinals at 1 point, an 11-3 lead. It's now 11-8. 23 hits in the ball game.
Well, let's get a few more insurance runs.
We're in the top of the 9th, and the first pitch to Jed Jerko is a high fly ball lifted out to right. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Colorado leading Milwaukee 5-2. Nolan Arenado, a RBI triple that scored 2 in that game. Cincinnati leading Atlanta. Also another score in the Central Division, 5-1. And Chicago winner earlier today over Toronto. So if the Cardinals can hold on, win this game, they stay a game and a half back of the Chicago Cubs and then leapfrog Milwaukee potentially Here's ball one. Greg Garcia at the on-deck circle. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Grichuk. Rounder that's hit to short. Two quick outs. Bowman continues to throw in the pen, so you would have to think if he's throwing, he's coming in this game.
He's coming in. And just a shame that you have to bring him into a game like this, but Mike can't. He's got to go with one of his most reliable relievers to get the job done. You put him in jeopardy with his availability tomorrow.
Here's Greg Garcia with 2 outs. And ball one.
Greg's had a nice night.
Couple of singles, 2 runs scored, an RBI, and the 1-0 pitch. Myers now a career ERA in the big leagues over 19. Two balls and 1 strike. And now it's become a tight game. You think about save situations.
It is a save situation.
You got it. 11-8.
What happens to a lot of times, Dan, I'm not, Bowman won't be guilty of this, but a lot of times if you're a closer and you see a game like this, you kind of said, well, there's no way I'm pitching. Shut it down mentally, and then you kind of have to, shouldn't do it, but it does happen. Greg's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
Softly hit, slowly. Right side glove in the out. Bowman coming on. 11-8. It's a 3-run lead now here in the bottom of the 9th. Game in which the Cardinals had an 11-3 lead. Last night, Bowman, this being his 61st appearance, number 60 last night, came in with runners at first and second. Tight ball game. Nobody out, and pitched out of a jam. Got a strikeout, made this play. And then for the third and final out, back to him. Tremendous work by Bowman, who's had a very good year.
Really has. 61st appearance for Mike Matheny. He's got 2 saves on the year, and he's got a third staring him in the face for this Cardinal victory. It would be the Cardinals' 63rd victory if he can close it out. Ground ball specialist.
61 appearances. That's now tops in Major League Baseball. Osuna looks at a strike. He's 1 for 1 against Bowman. Matt last night just 10 pitches in that inning with the strikeout. Righties 245, the lefties 230, and here we go. Hit to right. Ridgick over. Out number 1.
Get that first out. You're well on your way of having a shutdown inning. Matt Bowman last year was a Rule 5 selection. Cardinals saw him at AAA, Las Vegas. He was a starter then, led the Pacific Coast League in losses, but they loved his ground ball ability. Saw that power sinker, and they selected him. If he was going to make the team out of spring training a year ago, and now he's one of your most reliable relievers.
Looks at a strike.
Good sinking action, and then he's got a really nasty changeup. His ball just moves all over the place.
Here's the 0-1. Good change up there.
I mean, you just look at it, just really sells it with the arm motion, and same as his fastball, and like you say, the bottom just falls out of it.
Whoop. The hitter and the catcher miss it. Yeah. That's pretty good.
He throws that sinker, you know, and that has bores in on a right-hander.
That fastball to 92.
But you can see that action there too, the movement on it. Want to change up and throw the fastball in.
That pitch to a right-handed batter right there. Not many are going to hit it. And if they do, they put it on the ground.
Well, they have to put it on the ground. It's the only way they can do it. Hit it down and in. You know, a lot of times you sit there and you say, he drops a bat head and smoke it to the short part of the field. But with that movement, you're just lucky if you can top it. Fastball in again.
Here's a 1-2.
They hit it, they pull it. Kelly keeps on throwing the slider, but will settle on a fastball away.
Two and two.
Fastball in.
3-2 on Marte.
No free passes. Psychologically, when you're a game like this, if you walk somebody, you're just giving them the green light. Like the change up.
He walked him. 1-out walk, and it's Going to bring Maroff to the plate. The long home run off of Mike Myers. The trickle-down effect of Myers, you know, if you're Mike Matheny, you're thinking maybe he finishes out the game and gives you the 2 innings. Instead, you've had to go to Cecil. You got Bowman now back in the game. What happens tomorrow and Sunday?
Exactly.
And there's a lot to it.
That was his whole, mindset, was to have Myers come in here, finish this ball game, and Cardinals were back at the hotel by now. Didn't happen.
1 out runner at first and a strike. Oh, 2.
Back-to-back changeups, and off looking for a fastball, and back-to-back changeups. Now he's has to be defensive. Fastball in. Be careful.
Tough pitch to take there with 2 strikes.
Yeah. The changeup.
Slowly hit, but rolls foul.
Fastball in. Don't like that.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
Late in the ball game, you don't want to pitch inside.
2-2 pitch. Sean Rodriguez at the on-deck circle. Big pitch in this game right here.
Now Zach Duke has to give it up in this game. Fastball away.
Hit the other way, slicing foul.
Has already showed you that he can hit the ball out of the ballpark or put pitch inside. Late in a game, and of course he's got a 3-run margin, but a 2-run home run would narrow that gap. So you got to be careful when you pitch inside. You have to get far enough in.
Couldn't hold on.
That's where also, Danny, when Cardinal pitchers are so accustomed to throwing whatever Molina puts down, and when you have Carson Kelly or anybody up there, now you have to think, and he's making a suggestion, and it's just you don't have that comfort level that you do with Yachty.
Tying run comes to the plate. no matter what happens here tonight, you'd have to think you're going to have to do something for your bullpen tomorrow in terms of maybe making another roster move.
Yeah, you hate to say that, Danny, but you know, when you got 8 relievers and you feel like you're not covered, something's wrong. You got a day game also. That can you get here somebody here in time?
We got to have 8 relievers that you hopefully can trust too.
Well, obviously you don't have 8 relievers you can trust.
There's Sean Rodriguez. Got a little power.
Had some big hits against the Cardinals.
Runners at first and second. First pitch to him. Fouled back.
O has joined Duke in the bullpen.
One ball and 1 strike. Two for 2 against Bowman. He's always been a low ball hitter. Went after that pitch low. It was a ball. Now 1-2. Bases loaded. At one point, the Cardinals have an 11-3 lead. It is now 11-8. Bases loaded here in the ninth with one out. Josh Bell has had a walk-off hit against the Cardinals. He's got 20 home runs, 14 from the left side of the plate. So that's why you see Duke in. And that was off of Seung-Hwan Oh earlier this season. So one out, bases loaded. Here we go. Strike one.
All started for Zach Duke right here in Pittsburgh in the 20th round. And there you see off of O, the walk-off home run. They've had some walk-offs against the Cardinals the last few years.
That home run on O was a 3-run shot. Double play could end this game. The 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Zach Duke, as I said, 20th round selection back in 2001 for the Pirates. Came up, saw a lot of them as a starter, reinvented himself as a sidewinding lefty specialist. Come back from Tommy John a year ago, almost record time, and here he is in his 10th game.
The 2-2 pitch did not go. 3-2. David Freese at the on-deck circle. Not time called by Kelly. At least we know for sure it was Kelly that called time. Here we go. Bases loaded. 3-2 pitch. Good pitch.
On the hands. Talk about reinventing himself as a sidewinder. Very effective against lefties, but right-handed hitters get a good chance to see it. This is first plate appearance between these two. Usually the pitcher has the advantage.
And he walked him. 11-9 base hit could tie this game. And Mike Matheny back out to the mound. Another change. David Freese will be the batter. Of all people. Could come back to haunt his former team. David Freese against Seung-Hwan Oh, 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI, 1 strikeout. Oh comes into the game. We've had 3 walks here in the 9th. There are the numbers. He was also hit by a pitch. A base hit could tie it. Ball in the gap could win it. How did this happen?
3 walks and a hit batter.
At one point 11-3, now 11-9. He is grounded into 8 double plays.
You have to throw strikes. Hopefully down at the zone and you get the ground ball and it's right at somebody. O's been in these situations so many times that shouldn't faze him.
The 2-0. Freese with a high drive. Center field at the wall, and Pham has it for the catch. Runners tag up. Bell stays on the bag. 11-10. David Freese nearly sent us home.
Couldn't have been any further when and staying in the ballpark. Back up against the center field wall. Everybody moves up, so we talked about his problems with a lefty, so they will intentionally pass Frazier, and it's up to Diaz.
The lefties were 351 against O. The righties 225. Last night, Seung-Hwan Oh, 3 hits, 2 runs, and an inning. At 28 pitches. Diaz is 0 for 2 against the Cardinal righty.
Get him out here and just kind of laugh about this one. Don't get him out, we'll cry.
There's strike 1. You think about the outfield arms in this spot. Grichuk a plus, Pham a plus in center. Martinez, haven't seen him throw a lot, but he's in a little bit from that left field side. Bell, a big man, not a great runner at second base. Rodriguez would be the tying run down at third.
Rodriguez got the attention of O coming down the line aggressively, so he stepped off. Well, you hear the boos.
A crowd of 29,906 tonight. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And the Pirates are down to their final strike.
Pressure's on Diaz a lot more than O. He's been in this situation a ton. The Stone Buddha will come through.
The 0-2. Kelly kept it in front and keeps it a 1-run Cardinal lead.
Wow. .58-footer. Trying to jerk it. Kelly does a great job.
Rodriguez getting big lead at third base with Jerko back. Ball gets away, he could score. The 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
Backhanded that one to stop it in the dirt. Just negated his 0-2 advantage with 2 balls in the dirt.
The 2-2. Fouled back.
Good rip. Wait for that good slider. Sliders were the ones in the dirt.
The 2-2 again. He got him, and the Cardinals hold on. Somehow, some way. St. Louis wins it by the score of 11-10. Take a deep breath. The Cardinals have won the first 2 of this series. Look for win number 3 tomorrow.
I would kind of laugh at it, but he finally got a good slider and gets a strikeout. And boy, everybody can take a deep breath, including Chris Carpenter. First 2 games here have been quite an experience.
Paul DeYoung is our Budweiser player of the game. 3 for 5 solo home run, couple of singles, and he picked up a pair of runs and a pair of RBIs. The Cardinals hold on. St. Louis stays a game and a half back of Chicago. Win number 60.